Hi guys, Kate here. Today we're going to be talking about why a Shark Tale sequel will probably never happen. If you've been on the channel for a while, I made a video about Shark Tale 2 possibly in the works. And that video was mostly positive. Unfortunately, this one is going to be mostly negative. So one of the first things that I remember reading about was that Katzenberg, who was the CEO of DreamWorks, has pretty much left. He put someone new in charge. In the first Shark Tale, he was a big part of the production of the film. He also sold the company to Comcast. I don't think that he would be involved in the production if they did make a sequel. I also read an article online that he had been interviewed about a possible sequel to Shark Tale, and he ended up saying basically that they didn't think they would make any more parody movies. They don't go well overseas. I kind of disagree with that. I think Shark Tale did pretty well. The next reason is that DreamWorks has been losing money for a while. This is no secret. It's been like all over the internet for quite a few years now. DreamWorks has just been losing and bleeding money, and they've had to cut a lot of things because of that. I'd like to follow that up with the lack of projects and cutting projects. They haven't been able to take on a whole lot of new projects. They've mostly been working on things like How to Train Your Dragon sequels, Madagascar, and Shrek, the films that have done pretty well. I remember hearing a few years ago that they had cut, I think, from doing like 4 movies a year to only 2 at the most because they've been losing so much money. They're not working on as many movies at the same time. That brings me to my next point. DreamWorks for the last few years have had a lack of success, kind of just depending on their most popular series of movies, which is not really a good business strategy. So they haven't really had that many successes with Boss Baby and Peabody and Sherman and some of those films. And I remember like not too long ago they actually pulled Boo out of production, which is Bureau of Otherworldly Operations. That movie was supposed to come out a few years ago, I think, and it had merch and everything, like a synopsis and even a trailer, and it never came out. They pulled it completely. I don't know if it was due to budget things or if the plot was too similar to something else. My next point is original cast. A lot of, if not all of the actors in Shark Tale are all very, very, very famous and busy. And I feel like a lot of the actors would not want to return for a sequel. The movie is basically 14 years old at this point, and a lot of the actors, you know, they're getting older, they have kids, blah blah blah. Also, sadly, Peter Falk, who played Ira in the original movie, passed away, I think, in the mid-2000s. I can't remember exactly what year, but basically we wouldn't have Ira in a sequel, at least not with the original voice actor. All of the cast and musicians that they got to play in Shark Tale, I don't think that they could bring them all back. It was kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I mean, you're talking about, you know, Jack Black, Will Smith, Robert De Niro, like getting them all together again would be very difficult. My next point is the original team that worked on Shark Tale most likely is not still at DreamWorks. And basically what I mean by that is a lot of the artists, like the concept artists and character designers, the whole team that worked on the first Shark Tale is probably no longer there. It's been 14 years, and I've actually browsed online and actually found artists that worked on Shark Tale looking for work. So would they bring them back? I don't know. That is a thing to consider about a sequel. You don't have the original people. And the last point that I'd like to make is kind of a general and obvious one. DreamWorks, since its conception, was based on a rivalry with Disney. Katzenberg, who was the CEO, he basically started DreamWorks out of spite for Disney because he used to work for Disney. As we all know, a couple years ago, Finding Dory came out, but I was hoping maybe it would inspire them to make a Shark Tale 2. That didn't happen. So just to summarize, with DreamWorks losing money, they haven't had a whole lot of successful movies lately. You know, having the original team and people that worked on the first movie not being there, and Katzenberg being completely removed from the company, I just don't really see it happening. That is all I have for you guys today. I hope you found this at least a little bit interesting. It's been a while since I've made a Shark Tale related video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.